I ain't happy. You know why I ain't happy? Well, I tell you right here, right now, okay? Insidious The Last Key made almost $30 million, cost $10 million. It was a soulless freaking just generic ass ghost horror movie. People walk around for 5 minutes and then an obvious jump scare happens and then that's it. Over and over again. It's a fucking bullshit. 30 million in its first weekend. This weekend, my pride and joy, Paddington came back. He's back after like a few years of waiting. That Paddington 2, that sequel we've been waiting for that great first movie, is here, and it's even better than the first film. I don't even know how. This could have been like Garfield or Scooby-Doo or something like that, where it's like a classic story or a classic cartoon show or a comic strip character that everybody loves, and it turns into a dog shit movie. It does well because it's for kids, whatever. It's a funny little dog or whatever. Okay, Marmaduke. I bet that did okay. But, of course, Paddington 2 did well as well, and it was amazing. It was so good, so charming, so lovable. I love Paddington. I'm not talking about the movie. I'm talking about the character. I love Paddington. Even when I was a kid, I read the Paddington Bear stories, or my mom read them to me. So I love Paddington, okay? I just love that movie more than I love those books, to be honest. So I was excited for this. I actually saw this before I even went to go see some like Oscar caliber films that I really need to catch up on, like The Post or I, Tonya or Darkest Hour. I said, nah, screw those. I could see those now. Well, I'm seeing Paddington, boy. And the reason why I'm upset is because this movie made barely $10 million in its first weekend. It made like $15 million during the Martin Luther King weekend, so that's 4 days, not 3 days. But its first 3 days, it made $10 million. You know what made the exact same money? Proud Mary, which I heard was fucking terrible. Guess what made more money than this the same weekend? Fucking Insidious Last Key, and it was out. There was a second week it was out. I thought shitty horror movies were supposed to disappear after the first week. What the fuck is going on here? Okay, so this is a rant. I know this is for a kid's film, and I've been cursing a lot. I'm sorry. And it's for a movie I absolutely love, and I think is extremely charming, and you should see it right freaking now, because it's so good. It's so good, I'm telling you. And I know this movie's been doing very well in foreign box office, which is good. At least someone's smart here. But I just need to tell you this, because this is like the first movie that I'm really upset about, and it's not because the movie was bad, it was because it was great. Insidious was just such a like whatever movie, but now I hate it. Thinking about it now, after that movie made $30 million and this made 10, a third of what that movie did in its first weekend. Fuck Insidious. Fuck the people that really like those lame ass fucking movies. And you know what? Fuck America. I'm tired of it. They go see all this garbage all the time, and they don't go see the good stuff. Like, sometimes they go see the good stuff. Sometimes. Maybe they only go see the good stuff because the trailers made it look like the kind of stuff they would like, though. Like Baby Driver. Baby Driver did well. It was a smart made movie, but it was very, very entertaining. Okay? So that did well. I'll give America that. Okay? Good. Kudos there. But then shit like this? Are you fucking serious? Maybe it'll do well in the next few weekends, because there's not really many kids films coming out. I think the next one is like what? Well, I guess the next kid-appropriate movie would be like Black Panther, even though it's PG-13. But you know what I mean. The next movie kids are really excited for would probably be Black Panther. I'm sure there's something I'm forgetting, but yep. Here we go. Paddington 2. I loved it. I really did. This movie was so charming, so beautiful, so lively and so funny and just fun, and I loved it. It reminded me so much of like old cartoons I used to watch, where like weird things would happen and it doesn't really explain what's going on. It's not just people saying jokes or farting or something. It's like little sight gags that if you blink you might miss them. That's what I love about some movies, like the Lego movies, even though I didn't watch the Ninjago one, but like Lego movie and Lego Batman movie, like they have like such quick gags that it makes it highly rewatchable, because you just want to see those quick gags again. And there's a lot of that stuff in Paddington too, but there's also a lot of really good set design and visuals and some really amazing scenes in this film. There's one scene where it takes place in like a book version of London, that it's Paddington imagining bringing his aunt over to London because she really wanted to see London, and they're just walking around in this like this book version where it's all like cut out like paper people and stuff, and the buildings are paper, and it looks so gorgeous. It's like a 2-minute scene. That 2-minute scene probably costs more money to make than the entirety of Insidious: The Last Key. I'm sorry I keep bringing it up, but that movie's so cheap looking. It's all dark rooms and stuff, and it worked for the first movie, and it kind of worked for the third one, and I still enjoy the second one. But I'm just tired of these type of movies. Those cheap ass horror movies that are just like so cheap and so obvious and so generic that people go flock to them because they want to get an obvious scare when they're in the next theater, right next door, there's a legit good movie where people really put time into it, and no one's seeing it. No one in that theater. There's tons of people watching this fucking movie where it's an old woman walking around like putting her hand in front of things and oh, jump scare, but no one's seeing the bear. The cute little bear, the lovable bear that loves marmalade, and he gets thrown in jail. Brendan Gleeson's like this Irish tough guy. He befriends Liam Neeson. Liam Neeson would have been a great choice, actually. But Brendan Gleeson's great in this. He's probably my favorite character, to be honest. And he's there. He's a Knuckles McGinty, and he's like the cook, and he friends him, and Paddington makes like marmalade sandwiches for all the prisoners, and everybody loves Paddington. Paddington screws up and puts like a pink sock inside the washing machine, so everybody's costumes are now, or prisoner outfits are now pink, so everybody hates him. But then he makes the marmalade sandwiches, and they all love him, and he makes friends. And outside, Sally Hawkins, who we just saw in Shape of Water, so it was a little weird seeing her in a kid's film now, but so soon after that. But and her husband, played by oh god, I forgot his name, Hugh Bonneville, are trying to figure out why Paddington was thrown in jail, who could have possibly stolen what supposedly Paddington stole, and they're trying to figure it out. All the while, we have the villain character who actually stole the book, Hugh Grant, who is fucking great in this movie. He's so good. If you ever wanted to see a kid version of the main character from Split, with all the multiple personalities, and there's even a scene where Hugh Jackman, that would have been a good choice too, but Hugh Grant is like looking in the mirror and he's having that conversation like the character from Split had towards the end of the movie, where he's just like talking to himself and stuff with his multiple personalities. And there's a scene like that in this movie, except it's of course played for laughs, it's not sinister, and Hugh Grant is so good. This is probably Hugh Grant's best performance ever, in my opinion. He's so good in this movie. I'm not kidding. He's so good. When it comes to acting wise, he's my favorite actor in this movie. I love Knuckles McGinty though. That's probably my favorite character. So he's so good in this. He's a great villainous role. That's like, you understand why he's like the way he is, because he used to be a really famous actor and he got older and people stopped caring about him. So he had to do dog food commercials. So he's like, screw this. I'm tired of that. I'm a great actor. I can't do this anymore. So he actually goes and tries to steal a book that Paddington really wants. That's a really, really important book to him and his lineage or whatever. But Paddington wants it. And Hugh Grant steals it. And Paddington sees Hugh Grant do it. But he's like in disguise, so he can't really tell who it is. And then Paddington gets busted for the crime that he didn't actually commit. It's just a fun story. It really is. I know I'm telling it terribly, but it's such a great story. It's such a great movie. It's so colorful, so beautiful, so funny. It's so well done. It's very well orchestrated, very, very well directed. Director is one of the best for kids films, I will say right here. And everybody did a great job here. Ben Whishaw as Paddington. When I heard he was going to voice him in the first movie, I was a little upset because Colin Firth was originally supposed to play him. But now, after hearing him in the first movie and this one, there's no other person I could think of doing this voice for Paddington. Especially Colin Firth is like 60 years old, so it wouldn't even make sense for a bear that's supposed to be like in his, he's a child still, so it wouldn't really make any sense anyway. But he's so good in it. Ben Whishaw is fantastic. Everybody's great in this. Hugh Bonneville's really good. He's very funny. Everybody's really funny. Has little quirks. If I had any problem with it, is that I feel like the kid characters, who are now a little bit older in this movie, in the original they had more of a role in this in the story. Here they're kind of like in the background. Sometimes they'll show them like, hey, I'm still here, But that's really the only negative I can think of. Really, my main negative is that there's characters that were kind of in the first movie that are less in the second movie. That's my negative. That's the only negative I can think of. Even like the little town folk you see in the town that Paddington's in. You'll see like Peter Capaldi, who of course just played Doctor Who, who's like I guess the secondary villain of the movie, and he's great. Just a little like Jim Broadbent plays the shop owner for the book that got stolen, and he's great. Like everybody's so good in this. Everybody is so good in this. I loved it. I loved it. Easily the best movie I saw this year. I only saw 3 from this year at least. So there you go. Paddington 2. Go see it. Don't go see dog shit like Insidious. Don't go see dog shit like I'm assuming Den of Thieves will be. Just see this. See bear shit. There we go. That just ruined my whole point. But anyway, there you go. Thank you. Until next. Oh, I didn't give it a score. What am I doing? See, I this is my 3rd review I've recorded in like a row, so I apologize. I'm gonna give this one. God, I have to give this a good score, right? I have to give it like a really good score because I loved it. I'm gonna give it a 38 out of 40. I freaking loved it, and that's a 9.5 out of 10 for people that are confused. Because I only have one really small negative. Everything's so good about this movie. I love it. Hugh Grant. I hope he gets an Oscar. You know, I could see him getting an Oscar for Best Musical or Comedy. Not Oscar, Golden Globe nomination at least. That'd be a great choice because he is. I'm not even fucking around. He's really good in this movie, like legit good in this movie. He's so good. I want to see this movie again. I'm gonna go see it again. Bye. Yeah, I'm gonna go now. Yeah, go see Paddington 2, please. I want Paddington 3. I really do. Goodbye.